Here on this farm, we have 4 chicken houses, and we have right around 120,000 birds on the farm between the 4 houses.
And raising all these chickens requires a lot of feed. To reach the right size and weight for market, the bird's nutrition is critical. Luckily for farmer David Denny, Perdue, the company he grows these chickens for, knows a lot about this.
I mean, chicken growing, they've kind of got it down to an exact science. They've got 56 days, they want the birds 9 pounds, and the feed, when they change the feed over, everything, you know, it's all calculated, and it makes the birds 9 pounds in about 56 days.
Creating the feed for this 56-day growing process starts long before the chickens even arrive at David's farm. It all begins with grain, some of which David grew.
We start the corn and grow it all summer long, and in the fall we harvest it, and some of it goes to the feed mills right away, some of it we store, you know, throughout the winter when the feed mills need it.
David brings his grain to Perdue's poultry feed mill in Bridgeville, Delaware, along with hundreds of other farmers from the Delmarva Peninsula. As Perdue's vice president of live production, Ron Darnell, explains this grain is a key ingredient of the 15,000 tons of feed they produce every week.
The feed is made up of corn, soybean meal, vegetable oils, minerals, vitamins, and other things that it takes to put together a formulated package for chickens. All of our feeds are no antibiotics ever, and are veggie-based diets.
The mill grinds each ingredient individually. And then it's time for mixing.
Once we've ground those ingredients, they travel to an area we call the mixer, where we thoroughly mix these ingredients together according to a formulation.
Perdue makes 5 kinds of feed at this mill for 3 different phases of chicken growth. There's the starter stage, when they're still chicks, the grower phase, and the final withdrawal, or finisher stage.
Each of those feed types are unique in their own way nutritionally. Chickens, much like humans, as they grow, they have different nutritional requirements, and each of these feeds that we make are tailored to those requirements.
After the feed is mixed, it's shaped into pellets, which makes it more dense, helping the birds consume more feed with less time at the feeder. Plus, it's easier to transport.
During that process, we add steam. We also add heat in that process that helps us bind those ingredients together to create that pellet.
Next, air blowers cool and dry the pellets. Finally, a series of conveyors and elevators carry the finished feed into storage bins so it can be loaded on trucks.
And then that feed is dispatched to our birds and to our family farmers that grow the chickens for us based on an as-needed basis. The poultry, as it grows, is consuming a certain amount of feed per day. We have projection models that tell us exactly when that flock will need its next feed, so as those deliveries are scheduled, that feed is actually loaded and hauled to the farms.
Today, one of those deliveries arrives at David Denny's chicken houses with a new batch of finishing feed.
We're in the finishing stage. Birds are about 7 weeks old, and they, usually they go out about 8 weeks.
Then, it's just a quick trip through the automated feeding system before the feed arrives at its final destination.
There's an auger that takes it in to the chicken house, and there's bins in there with sensors. So the auger feeds those bins and fills them up. And then in the center of the chicken house, the chickens eat out of the feed pan, and once the food's gone, the sensor reads it, and it kicks the auger on and drags all the feed straight through the house.
As the chickens enjoy the feed, David is glad to know his birds are getting proper nutrition. And he's proud that he's able to play a role in creating their meal.
It makes me feel good that I'm growing my own food for the chickens. I like the fact that our corn has good quality to it, and what all farmers around here grow good quality corn, but it just makes me feel like I know where my feed's coming from and, you know, coming from good farmers, so.
Hi, thanks for watching Maryland Farm and Harvest. If you like this story, leave us a comment. If you want to see more, check out our playlists. We've got videos of cute animals, big machines, delicious farm-to-table recipes, and more.